Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MTG Place podcast. I'm your host, Corey. This is your place for all things magic. Today with me is Josh. How's it going, Josh?
What's up, everybody?
Today we're going to be talking about Modern Horizons 3, doing some more set review stuff. But before we jump into that here, the show is sponsored by Ironguard Supplies. We love their sleeves, top loaders, and accessories. You can get 20% off at ironguardsupplies.com using our coupon code MTG Place. Just right in checkout, there's a little coupon code spot, and you just type it in there.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about green and red rares from the MH3 set, giving you our thoughts on the card design, where it lies within the Magic ecosystem. We'll be mostly judging these on like a commander lens, but also with like Legacy, Limited, and Cube in mind. All right. We'll start with the first red card, Aether Revolt. 2 red for 4 mana enchantment. It's got Revolt. As long as a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 2 instead. And whenever you get 1 or more energy, Aether Revolt deals that much damage to any target. I like the little callback.
Good in the energy deck.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an all-star in energy deck. Like, whenever you make energy, it just pings anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is the card you want in Limited, I'm thinking.
Plus, if you like sack something off or something, then it does that much plus 2.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. This is like when you're playing MH3 Limited, when you open up a pack, you see Aether Revolt. It's like, ooh, that's the card you want.
Yeah, I didn't get to play with this in the early access that much. I didn't play a ton of red other than the Eldrazi's.
All right.
Let's see. Is there anything that's like sacrifice this creature, get an energy? That would be sick.
None that we've read so far.
Because if there was something like that even existed, it'd be like, okay, trigger both of these.
Yeah. Yep.
Next up, we got Ashling the Flame Dancer. 2 red for a 4/4 legendary creature elemental shaman. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Magecraft, when you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, discard a card, then draw a card. If this is the second time this ability resolved this turn, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control, and if it's the third time, you add 4 reds to your mana pool.
Crazy? I mean, it's that same Magecraft where it's like, if you do that Chain of Smog or anything that you can copy over and over, you take 2 copy instants like a fork and another fork and loop them over and over again. You'll be able to discard a card, draw a card, and go through your entire deck. That seems insane.
Oh, yeah, you get that every time, the discard draw.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you just get the 2 damage on the second and
once,
on the third.
For that turn, yeah. But if you run this as commander, have 2 forks and draw your whole deck.
I mean, and you don't lose unspent red mana is crazy because, like, especially if you're playing like mono red, just like, oh, end of your turn, okay, I'm going to tap all my lands. Like, come back to my turn and have a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's insane. Usually, it's like you save colorless. I think like the old Omnath that did that is still colorless, or is it
the green one keeps green?
Keeps green. Okay.
And then the new 5 color keeps black.
Keeps black.
I think there's one thing for colorless too.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking colorless. Okay, but red mana's
but
good.
They're usually like monocolored creatures, and so like you only have access to the one color. Then, and if you're playing a multicolored deck, you can't like save your other colors.
I guess this has to be red mana. Is Omnath like any like a colorless mana would turn into green then?
I think
it's been a while since I've read
green. I have to look.
Green mana. Okay. All right. So pretty normal.
Yeah, the new one is the one that turns all mana into black and keeps it.
Well, it seems like a sick card. We'll move on to the Detectives Phoenix. It's 2 in a red for a 2/2 enchantment. Phoenix. It's got Bestow for 1 and Collect Evidence 6. So you got to collect evidence and then pay the 1 to bestow this on to give the enchanted creature +2/+2, has flying and haste. Then you may cast Detective Phoenix from your graveyard using its bestow ability.
That's pretty cool. So you can just keep giving back +2/+2 flying haste to stuff.
Yeah, like forever. Yeah,
And like bestowing it is nice because like then if they just kill the creature, you still have a 2/2 flying haste, and they have to kill that again. So like this seems like a lot of value.
Yeah, it reminds me of a card called Dragon Wings. I used to run this in my Jalira Blightsteel deck, but it's a enchantment or a enchanted creature gains flying. But whenever a creature with confirmed mana cost 6 or more comes into play, return it from the graveyard to play, enchanting it. So whenever I got Blightsteel out, it's flying. But this is like haste, and you get to keep on doing that over and over. I don't know. It seems good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it'll be good. I mean, the collect evidence 6 is the hard part, so you need some stuff to die, but
Yes. I know it probably wouldn't have fit, but they named it Detective's Phoenix, and it's only a Phoenix. Why is it not a detective?
yeah, why is it not like it even has collect evidence from the
Yeah,
detective's
that's
set?
where I
Like,
guess it's there, but it should have been a detective, man.
yeah, it should have been like a Phoenix detective. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's nice.
Next up, we got Flare of Duplication. It is 1 red for an instant. You may sacrifice a non-token red creature rather than pay its mana cost, and you get to fork something. So copying it's a sorcery spell, you choose new targets.
Yeah.
It's pretty good for free.
Yeah, these flares, man. This one's actually up there. It sure ain't the counter spell, but being able to copy something is pretty insane.
Especially for no mana.
Yeah, like I said, you're going to have your commander when we're playing commander. It's going to be red. It's got to be. It, this is also a counter spell to a counter spell. If you've ever seen those copy instants, someone tries to counter spell your thing, you copy the counter spell.
You can also like if someone goes to kill your thing, you can just like sack the thing they're going to kill and then kill one of their things.
Yeah, you're already getting value off of that. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah,
it's pretty good. I almost like it more than the ones that cost like 3-4 mana because this one I can, if I have the bailout of just sacking something.
See, the 4 mana one's Wild Ricochet, and you get 2 copies of it, but that's 4 mana. This could be free.
Right. That's why I like it, is because it can be free.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, I don't tend to play a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless I'm going for that like combo where you just loop stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But like this seems like it could be playable even if you're not doing that, just because like it has the flexibility of, oh, that's a good spell to copy right now. Let me just sack this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering, even in like CEDH, someone plays like Demonic Consultation, and you can just snipe it, I guess.
Well, what if someone goes for the win with
Brain
like
Freeze?
Tendrils or something?
Tendrils, yeah. You copy on top of that and just win. That's so
just
funny.
win before they win.
That seems pretty good. We'll move on to the Party Thrasher. 1 in a red for 1/4 Lizard Wizard. That was fun. Non-creature spells you cast from exile have Convoke. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard a card. If you do, exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn.
So it seems insane in like Prosper decks.
There it is, guys.
Yeah,
we broke
all
it.
of your stuff just has Convoke or non-creatures.
Yeah,
it says Convoke. Yeah. That's pretty good.
It's like a little bit of both. Like you need the creatures to convoke, but you need non-creature spells that can get convoked. So it's a little over, but I think it is really, really strong. Yeah. Like this guy can convoke itself. Your commander can help.
The artwork's good too. It's just like all the people hiding from the dude on the standing on the chair. Like stuff's on fire. He's like throwing fire or something.
Yeah. Who let this lizard into dinner?
Right.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more powerful than we even think. I assume
Next,
free spells
yeah.
are good.
Next up, we got Power Balance. It is red for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the two spells have the same mana value. So it's kind of like the counterbalance, except for now it's you play it for free on the top.
Yep.
So
Instead of countering it, you play it for free.
Commander, you're going to want your Senses Divining top and your
Yes.
Brainstorms and all that stuff.
Yep. Making sure you have the right CMC on top.
There's actually a new card in this set that's pretty good too. It's an uncommon Brain Surge. It's like draw 4, put 2 on top.
Yeah, it's just like a big brainstorm.
Yep.
Yeah, this seems like it's going to find a home, especially in like I'm thinking CEDH that I play. Like you have like 1, 2, 3s, little bit of 4s. Like they're usually your CMC instead of being a wide range is very short range. So you got like a 33% chance if without whiffing on a land, of course.
Right.
So it's probably going to be definitely tried out.
Yeah, I think it could be decent. I mean, especially if you had like, what if you had Counterspell and Power Balance in the same deck?
The both triggers would go on the stack and you get to choose which one you want.
I think so.
You would want to resolve Power Balance, so you get yours out first and then counter it. Unless, if you really needed to counter it, then
right, then you could just counter it first.
It'll be interesting. All right, let's move on to Ral Moonsun Mage. It's Ral Zarek, baby Ral Zarek. 1 in a red for a 1/3 legendary human wizard. Instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell during your turn, flip a coin. There we go. If you lose the flip, Ral deals 1 damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile Ral. If you do, return him to the battlefield transformed into Ral Leyline Prodigy. 2 loyalty, static ability. Ral enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on him for each instant or sorcery spell you've cast this turn. And then +1 until your next turn. Instant or sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less. -2. Ral deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 to 2 targets. Draw a card if you control blue permanent other than Ral. And -8. Exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant and sorcery spells from among them this turn without paying their mana cost. So like not gutter snipe. Electromancer is just not a thing anymore.
Right.
This is like the second card now that does
way
instant
better than
spells.
Electromancer.
And
I mean, you could, if you had some sort of storm deck, right? If you could play 6 spells in a turn, you could just flip this over and then immediately alt it.
Yep. Which then you have even more storm.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like the most scenario, but otherwise, I mean, the -2 is not bad. Draw a card, deal 2. It's what electrolyze basically.
Yeah, as long as you control another blue permanent, which you will if you're playing commander. Like you'll have to have it's a blue-red color pie, whatever color identity. And it's the exile and comes back in, so it does enter the battlefield as it was saying before, but that works with doubling season. Just going to point that out again.
Yeah, but then it only has 4 unless you have a bunch of spells you played.
Yeah, well, you're going to need to at least cast 1 because that's how he flips. Is you need to cast 1 and flip a coin.
Oh, so I guess he comes in with 3 at least.
So then it will be 6 with doubling season.
Mm-hmm.
I
think it's kind of cool. I mean, it sucks if you suck at flipping because you just take a bunch of damage.
You can't suck at flipping.
Just build a deck with like Mana Crypt and this and Shocklands and Fetches. Can you kill yourself before you kill them?
The deck's so powerful if you win the flips.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Wheel of Potential. It's 2 in a red. You get 3 energy counters. Then you may pay X energy. Each player may exile their hand and draw X cards. If X is 7 or more, you may play the cards you own to exile this way until the end of your next turn.
I don't know, that's a lot of hoops. Like, I guess in energy decks this is good, but like usually wheels, the way people play it now is for like the Narsets or like the Orcish
Well,
Bone.
this exiles too. It doesn't even
Yeah, it
discard.
doesn't discard them.
So it's basically, if you could get to the 7, it's pretty good, I think, because it's like you exile your hand, draw 7, you could still play the 7 card or your hand until the end of your next turn.
Next turn. Yeah.
But I mean, otherwise, you like, but on its face, right? It's for 3 mana. Each player could exile their hand, draw 3,
Mm-hmm.
which is like okay. It's not great.
Yeah, I don't
That's why it's the Wheel of Potential. It only has the potential to be good.
Yeah, this seems pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
You pretty much have to dump 7 energy into it, right? Like, otherwise it's just awful. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, like, I'd rather just play like Bedlam Reveler, where just I draw 3.
Yeah. Seasoned Pyromancer or something like.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the Birthing Ritual. 1 and a green for an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature, look at the top 7 cards of your library, and you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from among those cards onto the battlefield, where X is 1 plus the sacrificed creature's mana value. The rest on bottom in any order, or random order.
So Birthing Pod, basically, enchantment.
Birthing Pod, but Birthing Pod's good because you can untap it with the creature that you find, and it has like this combo potential.
Right.
This only triggers at your end step.
Right.
But still, like, cycling through, if you have like ETB.
And you only get to look at the top 7, so like search your deck.
Yeah. It doesn't have the combo potential, but as a value piece, I can see it being there. I like how you don't have to sacrifice a creature until you look and be like, okay, I want something.
Right.
So that's nice. 2 mana's pretty low, which is good. I don't know if you build a ETB deck.
Yeah, it might be okay if you specifically build around it. You probably play Birthing
Right.
Pod as well then. But.
Yeah. It just doesn't have the I win Birthing Pod broken
Right.
combo potential.
Next up, we got Eldamari Corvicadol. 1 green for a 3/3 legendary creature elf warrior. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You can cast creature spells from the top of your library. And you can pay 1, tap this, tap 2 untapped creatures you control, reveal a card from your hand or the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, put it on the battlefield. Activate only during your turn. So I had someone play this against me in the early access, and it just fucking wins. Like,
yeah. This card.
Oh, let me just cast my Eldrazi's for free by tapping this and 2 creatures. Like,
yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
and it's not even casting; it's just put it onto the battlefield. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, you don't get the cast trigger, but okay, I have a 9/9 Annihilator for a mana and 2 mana dorks. Like,
Yeah, this card is.
it's like a way better Elvish Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you could cast stuff from the top of your library as well. Like, it's bonkers.
Yeah. I guess Piper you could do instant speed.
Yeah, but it costs 4 mana and tapping it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's 1 tap before to play, something like that. But
It's 4
either
to
way,
Yeah.
like, this is still better, I think.
Yeah. If you can cast creatures from the top of your library, it's basically a card draw.
Mm. And it's nuts that the buyout on that is the creature could be in your hand or the top card, and
Top,
you just
yeah.
put it into play. It doesn't have to be the top card.
Mhm.
It's really good in your hand.
Mm-hmm. Worldly Tutor puts the card on top, and usually you gotta wait, but not with this guy.
Yep. Does have a downside. You can't activate it as an instant, but Well, you can on your turn. You just can't do it on your opponent's turn.
Yep. Yeah.
It's still really good, I think.
Yes. Yeah, this card's pushed for sure. We're moved on to the Fanatic of Ronas. 1 and a green for a 1/4 Snake Druid. You could tap him to add a green. He has Ferocious, add green, 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 green. Activate only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, so Ferocious. But he also has Eternalize for 2 green, green, which Eternalize, you make a 4/4 zombie token out of him, so then he will be able to tap for 4.
Yep.
This seems so fun. This seems insane in like limited, where like a 1/4, like you can't get really past. That can block almost anything. It ramps you, and if they take care of it, well, you're going to have a 4/4 that can tap for even more.
Yeah, there's a lot of ramp in limited, and this is one of the better ones.
Yeah.
But this is just crazy, dude. Like, and then like it has ferocious eternalize. I read something like they brought back. They have like 40 different keywords from all of the Magic sets in Modern Horizons 3.
It's a Modern Horizons
Like
set.
they're just trying to go nuts with it. So
yeah, which we appreciate because we've been playing for a long time. So
yeah, but it's hard for new players.
for sure, I get it.
I like this guy. I mean, if you have the 4 power or greater matters deck, like a mana deck that adds 4 is insane.
Yeah, I feel like you don't need that though. Like he makes himself 4.
Yeah, if he dies, he comes back. But like, I think just being able to like turn 2 play this, turn 3 play a 4 mana creature, and then the turn 5 you're untapping with like 8 mana, and you're just like 8-9 mana, just play a bomb.
Yeah, I mean you could play like Questing Beast on turn 3, and that's a 4 power, and then
it's pretty good.
Seems nuts.
Next up, we got the Flare of Cultivation. 1 green green for a sorcery. You may sacrifice a non-token green creature rather than pay its mana cost. Search library for 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped and the other in your hand. So, cultivate that you can cast for free, basically.
Yeah, by sacrificing a non-token green creature.
I mean, it's probably going to be a mana dark, though, at that point.
It could be, what's the land? Dryad Arbor? That's a green creature.
Yeah.
You can play on turn 1 and do this.
I don't know how good is doing that, though, because your mana dark was already giving you a mana. Like.
Yeah. And it's sorcery speed, so you can't do
I feel like most time you're just going to play it for 3 and play it like a normal cultivate. And you have the buyout of like late game, you just don't want to pay the mana for it. Like,
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem good at all.
Even it's a second cultivate in your deck, but
yeah, in a
you
land
just play Kodama's Reach though. Like, like it's basically a common card that they just stapled the cast for free part and made it a rare. So I don't think it's super great.
Speed.
Huh?
Sorcery speed. You can't do like, oh, my creature.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's literally the same thing as Cultivate or Kodama's Reach. It's the exact same card, except for they stapled that you can cast it for free. It's text on there. They made it a rare. And it's 1 green green instead of 2 and a green, so it's actually harder to cast.
Flavor.
If you could stack a token, I think it'd be good. But
yeah, because green's got a lot of easy tokens.
Non-token's kind of hard. I mean, I guess if you have like a wrist deck, maybe you just sack wrist right away and do this. But
yeah,
because I mean, turn 3 being able to do this, sacking wrist, and then play, and then also play like a cultivate, you would ramp pretty hard.
Okay, I can see that. But maybe something that has like persist or undying.
Yeah,
you want to get the ETB or make it bigger with undying.
Yeah. Or I guess you could sack that ferocious guy so that you can bring him back as a 4/4.
True.
But I think the reason they made this a rare is because in the weird scenario where you cast this for free and then also cast like another ramp spell and then you double ramp on turn 3. But
I guess.
Then you untap with 6 lands.
It's definitely the worst flare out of
Yeah,
all of them.
it's okay. I like. Would you play this over a cultivate just because it has the buyout?
Probably not. It depends. Maybe if I'm mono green, yeah, because it's like the 2 green pips. Depends on
Right.
how many colors you have.
So if you're not mono green, you're probably just gonna play the other one.
Yeah. Could be 2 colors, but we'll move on to Grist Voracious Larva. For 1 green, a 1/2 legendary insect. It's got Death Touch. Whenever Grist or another creature enters a battlefield under your control, if it entered from your graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, you may pay green. If you do, exile Grist and return to the battlefield, transformed into Grist, the Plague Swarm. Starts off with 3 loyalty, +1, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill 2 cards. Put a Death Touch counter on the token if a black card was milled this way. -2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. -6, for each creature card in your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 black and green insect token. Jeez.
I kind of want to try this in my Carador deck because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's 1 green mana and it's going to easily trigger for me because I play stuff
Yeah.
in the graveyard all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I flip it and I just try and wait till I can get it to 6, and then it's just going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
Especially, and it helps self mill with the whole time while you're doing that.
Yeah, this seems pretty insane. Like, even destroying artifact or enchantment is very good. The
And it's a 1 drop. Like, so if
Yeah.
they kill it, you're just like, whatever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that ultimate making like your Arcana Cruelty ETP triggers. And,
yeah, like Arcana of Cruelty, and then the Ashen Rider, like even a
yeah.
1/1 Kakusho is sick. Like
Yep. Yep.
1/1 Yosei, like
What's funny to me is like all of these flip planeswalkers, they care about a second color, and then like the Ral we just read, like if you have the blue, the other color of it, you get a draw card, which is like pretty. That's like significant. The other ones do other things, but this one's just like if you had a black one, you put a Death Touch counter. Like
yeah. So it's like, who it doesn't really matter. Like,
doesn't matter. Like you can not have it. You create the 1/1 black insect creature and you mill no matter what, which is like the important parts. Like
right, and then it's like, okay, now it's a 1/1 Death Toucher, so they're not going to want to swing into it. Like,
yeah, yeah. Like you already get most value off of it. Like cool if you have a black one. Like Ral, you need that red creature. Like drawing cards way more.
what's really weird is if you have the other Grist in your deck,
Mm-hmm.
and that gets milled in the graveyard, and then you make the copy, you have a 1/1 copy of the Grist
Yeah,
Planeswalker.
yeah. The original Grist being a creature in any other zones is just you can do some wonky things with that
Yeah.
for sure.
Next up, we got Primal Prayers. It is 2 green for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy counters. And then you may cast creature spells with mana value 3 or less by paying energy rather than paying their mana cost. If you cast a spell this way, you may cast it as though it had flash.
So this is a Lurin, but
you need energies.
So you got to be making more energy than just the 2. I feel like you got to be an energy deck.
I mean, you could play it. Otherwise, it's 4 mana. Play something that costs 2 or less for free with flash.
3 or less, and you get 2 of them.
Well, no, because you have to spend the energy equal to its mana cost. You have to play a 2-drop for 2 energies. 3-drop, 3 energies. 1
Really?
drop, 1 energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was just 1 energy by paying energy rather than paying
energy. Wait,
I think you just pay 1 energy
is
and
it
you
just
get
1 energy? Pay energy rather than. Oh, I guess it just says pay 1 energy. It doesn't say equal to.
Yeah.
So you get 2 creatures for 4 mana. Otherwise, worst.
Yeah, best case scenario, you get 2 3-drops, so you get 6 mana value off of 4 mana, and they gain.
You definitely need other ways to make energy, or else it's not worth it.
Yeah. It's like it takes up that card slot, so you could have had like that creature or something like that. That's a big. Being a card slot is pretty huge. Yeah, I don't know.
I think you have to have an energy deck where you're making lots of energy for this to be good.
All right, move on to 6. 2 and a green for a 2/4 legendary tree folk. It's got reach. Whenever 6 attacks, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. As long as it's your turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace.
I got destroyed by this in the early access as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, mill 3 cards, get a land in my hand. Okay, well, the retrace is insane. It's like, oh, he kills the thing. Guess what? They're playing it again.
Yeah, because they get the land over and over and over again. Yeah. And retrace, it doesn't like exile like a flashback or something. Like,
no, you just discard the land, pay the mana cost, cast anything from your graveyard.
and then you get to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. And I feel like this would find a home in like a legacy lands deck with dark depths and stuff. Because it just digs for depths.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a 3 mana 2/4 for reach too. So
yeah, seems pretty good. I'm not sure about like as a commander. Probably is a little weak. Maybe I gotta see some retrace combos in mono green, but you're in mono green.
I mean, just being able to play back stuff that dies is pretty good, or stuff that you milled out. But
I'd say this in the 99 more though.
yeah.
All right, you got the Spring Heart and then
Spring Heart and then Tuko. 1 in the green for a 1/1 enchantment insect monk. Bestow for 1 in the green. Enchant creature gets +1/+1. Whenever or landfall, so whenever a land enters the battlefield you control, you may pay 1 in the green. If it's attached to a creature you control, if you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature. If you didn't create a token this way, create a 1/1 insect creature token. So this is insane. I had this in the early access about 3 times, and one deck had 2 of them. And it's like, okay, I can bestow onto like anything. So even just like a 3/3 elk, whatever.
Yeah.
And then whenever I landfall, I can pay 2, make a copy of that over and over and over. And if you don't pay the 2, even if it's bestowed, you get the 1/1 insect. So like you always get a 1/1 insect on landfall at the worst. And then like even when they kill the creature, you just get the 1/1 insect on landfall. So it's just like this thing is nuts because it just pumps out 1/1 bodies at the worst. Yeah. It's like at the best, you're making copies of whatever it's attached to.
Yeah. Scoot Swarm, I'm sure people know that card that we can compare it a little bit to it. But this, like, it creates token of the copy. Like, it doesn't make more Scoot Swarms, which can be much more powerful.
Well, you can put this on a Scoot Swarm, pay 2, make a Scoot Swarm, play land, get much more Scoot Swarms.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. I've seen some weird combos with this. Like someone did like Lotus Cobra, so landfall you get a green, and then like you copy the Arbor Elf, which is a land, and you get more landfalls, and you can like almost infinitely do it. I don't know. It was a weird video I saw.
I was doing in one of them. I think I put it on what was it? This like Eldrazi that was like Annihilator 1. Just kept copying it. Another one I put it on this thing that's like ETB draw 2 cards. I'm just like, oh, keep drawing cards. Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Yeah, it seems like a fun card for sure.
Then there was a game where they like pacified my 4/5. I put this on, and I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna make copies of my 4/5. It's like it's so good. I think this is a really good card.
Yeah, like I said, you can make tokens of anything. Boom.
Yep.
Token. All right, we'll move on to our segments. I got a crazy combo, jank combo.
Jank combo.
We're with Primal Prayers, the card we just talked about. So, yeah, like we said, I don't think this is going to be viable unless you're going to do this combo with it, which if you use this with the green belt Rampager, it's 1 green for the 3/4 elephant from Aether Revolt. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 energy. If you can't, return it back to its owner's hand and you get 1 energy. So you need to do this without any more energy because you use the 1 energy to flash it in. You don't have the 2, so you got to bounce it back. You get another energy. And you can just get infinite ETBs. That's all it does. So you need something else that requires on ETBs or casting. But there's plenty of options you can run through. There's some that let you draw cards. There's some that just drain life. Don't let your imagination stop you.
Basically, all the alluring combos, right?
Yeah. Yep. This
That's
time,
cool.
it's modern legal.
Yeah. All right, Corey's crazy card this week is Camouflage. For those of you who don't know what that does, it's 1 green mana, so it's a mana value 1 green. For an instant, you can cast only during your declaring attacker step. This turn, instead of declaring blocks, the defending player chooses any number of creatures they control, divides them into a number of piles equal to the number of attacking creatures for whom the player is attacking. Creatures those players control that can block an additional creature may be put into additional piles. And then the attacker assigns each pile to a different one of those attacking creatures at random, and then each creature in the pile blocks the creature, and it must do so.
This fit on a magic card?
That's the new Oracle text.
Yeah.
The old text was, you may rearrange your attacking creatures, place them face down, revealing which only after defense is chosen if results in impossible blocks, such as non-flying, blocking, flying creatures illegal blockers cannot block. But so
I feel like
the
that didn't
Oracle
explain.
text explains it a lot better.
Yeah, I feel like that didn't explain it at all.
Yeah.
This is 1 green mana.
Yep.
Yeah, they were.
So originally it was like magical hats where
Yeah.
you shuffle it up, and now they're like, well, it's easier just to you see what it is, but you assign it at random. Like, so that's how you do it now.
Yeah. Early, alpha beta magic was a weird time.
Yep.
Sure. They had some crazy ideas.
All right. Well, that's our show for today. Our next podcast will be about the rest of the Modern Horizons cards. So if you like any of these cards, make sure you pick them up using our TCG Player affiliate link, which can be found in the show notes on our website, mtgplace.net.
Yeah, and you can help support the show at patreon.com. You have different tiers of involvement and you get different perks. Also, come hang out with us by joining our Discord and just talking with us.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Be notified of all our videos and podcasts when they're released. Going to have a lot of early access videos coming out. I think I did like 5 or 6 of them. There's probably about 2 out already. Thanks for listening, and goodbye, everybody.
See ya.